Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Very special video. It's been a while since I did a pickup video, and new year, new pickups, new favorites. So before we begin, I'd like to ask you to please like this video and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. This is from the Sphinx collection, one of my favorites. Beautiful piece, long, asymmetric, lightweight, very wearable. It has been my goal to collect pieces from the Sphinx collection. That collection is filled with multi-wear garments. I have this vow that I will never wear a piece of garment until I've shown it on my pickup videos. I broke that rule when I received this because I just couldn't wait to wear this. We are in the peak of summer and I'm running out of outfits. This is how it looks like in the front, and that's the signature detail of that collection. That's the pattern, and it's devoid of any detail and embroidery as opposed to what we've seen in the runway. On a 2D perspective, it's just a vest with a very collapsed silhouette, and this garment embodies the graceful elegance. It features a high neck collar. The pattern is very angular. Obviously, the collection was a heightened version of the garment that I'm holding right now. In the runway, the fabric and pieces appear to be stiffer, and the tunics were dazzled with beautiful Mayan art. You can wear this as a front first, and you'll just have to fasten the back through this industrial snap-on details. So that's the open back. When you fasten it, the excess fabric hangs around, and when you move, that's when the details come alive. It's a pretty straightforward design. So wear it as a vest, and what you get is a very drapey, long vest. It's gonna be a mainstay in my wardrobe. Rick's strongest points when it comes to designing is his duality and his versatility. According to Alex Fury, Rick has been producing designs that defy fashion and challenge physics, turning the hard into soft, the cold into warm, blending masculine and feminine. He mixes tension and makes it interact in a very beautiful way. Duality or versatility means it transcends in one way, and on the other end, it deconstructs. You can wear a piece of garment more than one way. And it's just a tip. Any clothing can be worn in any way. Shorts can be worn as a top. A bag can be worn as a hat. You just have to let your imagination run wild and unlock something within you. And then there's Rick Owens, who creates designs that can be worn in 10,000 ways, and it makes sense and it doesn't look forced, contrived, or stupid. I was just on Mercury, Japan, and I encountered this vest. I think the color is more of an oyster gray color. And I think this one is perhaps the type that you wear approaching colder season. You know what? This color as well, we are seeing a lot of this in his strobe collection. It has a thicker quality to it. It's wool lined with cupro. The color has this mellow gray color, appears to be old, worn in, and melodramatic. I've read in one of Rick's interviews, if an extreme silhouette is soft, gray, and weathered, it can just slip into everyday life without making noise, and I love that. He was always dissatisfied that anything extreme, radical, high fashion had to be reserved for runway, red carpet. Why can't you incorporate those crazy pieces in your everyday lives? He doesn't want artifice. He wants the fantasy to be real. Something very useful to ponder and think about. We sometimes tend to procrastinate in wearing what we really love versus what is easy and what is accessible. So I bought this gray vest for selfish reasons, for stupid reasons, because I have these boots, and I think together it creates an amazing pairing. I love completing outfit puzzles. When I wear it with my existing Rick pieces, I'm like, wow, this is a runway moment manifested. Now that I have the pieces, I can allow myself to transfer those ideas and my own personal style. This is from Fall Winter 2013 collection, Plinth. And look at the fabric. I think it's made from distressed velvet. The catch is this is not mine. It's my gift to Loren. It's a very languid, relaxed, wide hem trousers. And this was in 2013. 10 years later, we are seeing a lot of men and women wearing this. I actually wore this with my Kiss boots and the effect was beyond words. It just looks so good. Now I get it why people are loving the Kiss boots with the extreme wide-legged pants. To offset the big pants, I wore the bomber jacket to create that sort of tension and balance. It exudes power, extremeness. Oftentimes, Rick's clothes are accused of being unwearable artifice, but I think there's no artifice. And if there are, I think it's built upon a commitment to find beauty. So the second part of the pickup is the jackets and the outerwears. This will be the chunk of my video because I'll be showing a mix of classic, casual, high fashion. Let's do this in a very progressive Charles Darwin kind of way. So we'll start from tame and then we progress to a more nuanced type of pieces. Let's start with level 1 NPC, a very basic, mundane crop bomber jacket. It's not the monstrous biker jacket that we see now. This is from the women's wear, very feminine, soft, languid. Nowhere near the mega rock hard silhouette that Rick is doing right now. This bomber jacket is an example of Rick's concept of creating grunge pieces. Like we all know that bomber jacket is mainly the territory of grunge styling, but with a delicate fabric that he employed, it transforms into a blouse almost. I rarely own crop pieces because I tend to gravitate towards oversized. Now I truly understood the craze. I love how transformative, how it elongates the lower half of your body, paired with an extreme pants. The bomber was a great backdrop and a great tension builder. Here I wore the bomber jacket with Loren's pusher pants, and as you can see, the result is magnificent. Like the magnitude of the pants versus the skin tight bomber jacket was chef's kiss. And also I wore the Kiss boots, so it kind of helped. And I'm gonna be talking about the Kiss boots later on another video because it deserves a separate content. It's gonna be exciting, you have to watch it. I also paired it with a flowy pants. Yeah, this is such a novel styling for me since you always see me in long skirts or skinny trousers. Very boring, very millennial. You know, once in a while it's always nice to explore the opposite side of your spectrum. In that way you can find not a newer version of you, but a new layer that you can express. Like his classic biker, Rick Owens have a certain style vernacular when it comes to his blazers. In his early years, there is a penchant to the shrunken, svelte silhouette. The torso were almost sinewy, almost kept slender. This blazer is an example of that. It's almost impossible to layer it. It's made of a really thin wool mixed with cotton. It has a corset fitting quality. On its own, it creates a great sense of drama and theatricality. The constriction starts in the first half of the garment, and before you knew it, releases and explodes into a sharp, dagger-like pattern that flows and ebbs. Even the buttons were placed so high up in the sternum, so it's sort of like anchored in your chest. It's as if it doesn't want you to breathe. It definitely reminds me of the Victorian silhouette and how it behaves. I pair this with a boot that also competes the blazer in terms of its shape. I enjoy this blazer and boot interaction. I mostly start with the shoes. I look for elements, I look for shapes, and then from there I pick the clothes that has some sort of similarities. Yeah, like the Chanel jacket in the 50s, his leather biker has become part of a uniform of our times. Revolution and evolution are two things that Rick has mastered in order to create a large cult following. Designs that rebel and morph in service of what is happening in the current landscape of fashion. For example, Rick started his career as a designer, mainly for leather jackets. Now, every brand perhaps have their own biker jacket. Go to a thrift store and you'll find a rack full of it. But through a yearning to execute something that is original and nuanced, he Pokemon this biker jacket with the glamour of a drapey blouse, which has resulted in a classic Rick Owens jacket that we know now. So starting with the classic biker jacket, let me just present to you. This is from the GLEAM collection, Fall/Winter 2010. 2010 was where we have seen how the biker jacket has been a medium to Rick Owens' experimentation. The main piece on the runway were the long line biker jacket sans the sleeves. Rick during that time was exploring how far he can configure his signature biker jackets. So this is the vest, like, you know, the usual Rick Owens jacket. The only difference is it's like a tunic dress. And also my intention of buying this is for this to match another Rick Owens boots that I own. As much as I wanted to have a black and white wardrobe, it's just hard because I love earth tones, I love neutrals, and I just love pairing my outerwears with my boots. What I have here is a classic biker jacket in beige. It's beautiful when worn. It's a bit tricky for me because of my proportions. Like I have a very large head.
Oh boy.
So when I wear this zipped up, it's as if my head is floating in midair. It's funny, but not funny.
Oh boy.
For the styling, I wore this with my long maxi skirt to create that statuesque look that I really love. It's just a clean, regal type of garment that makes you not look like a biker girl, but more of a bohemian. Love the extreme funnel collar and how it just morbidly made my head appear like it's floating. And for the second styling, I wore it how it was interpreted in the runway with the leggings and knee-high boots with the matching hair and makeup. And this is the classic biker jacket in ice gray. Rick is reviving this color. Yeah, I think it's called Pearl. We've seen this in his newer line of biker jackets from Edfu and Strobe, and I just love it. It smells so good. It has this powdery leather smell. The Rick Owens jacket has a shrunken quality, as if the jacket has become one with the wearer through repeated use. His jacket has a pattern that's engineered to allow for draping. Like the leather jackets behave how an evening dress would. The leather isn't stiff and there is kind of surrender and softness and collapse. And for the styling, I wore this with my velvet skirt from Rick Owens and my gray boots. So happy with the styling. Could not wait for winter, you guys. We are at the peak of summer and I think tomorrow there'll be a heat wave. Me talking about jackets, it makes me more depressed. By the way, if you want to watch more pickup videos, I'll be putting down some links below. It's worth watching. If you're someone who's new and you just want to start collecting and building your collection, it's always good to watch my videos, I guess. And this jacket is my next one. It's from Rick Owens LILLIES. It's not from the runway. I believe there are some Rick Owens LILLIES pieces that are inspired from the runway looks. Such a beautiful piece. At first glance, the jacket is cold and hard. Very solid pattern and structure. You can see the details. The stitching is more pronounced. The pattern resembles a corset. The word corset and comfort doesn't go well together. Rick Owens LILLIES jackets features various leathers, or they use substitutes such as neoprene, and And this one, I think it's made of a mix of neoprene and leather. You can see this is the neoprene layer mixed with the leather. It feels softer, it feels padded, perfect for the cold weather. And since this is made from a neoprene fabric, it has a very rubber-like quality to it. It looks more plasticky. The result is a futuristic jacket that will turn you into a living robot. The construction of this magnificent jacket appears to have some sort of paneling spliced together. And if you can see, there is a cinching, a slight minimal cinching in the waist. And this is one of my favorite styling. In this video, I paired the jacket with my boots. And the boots that I've worn is the crust boots from the 2009 collection. And look at the result. This jacket is one of my grails for the longest time. This has got to be the most insane piece that I've acquired. It's from the ANTHEM collection in 2011. Can we just have a moment of silence and appreciate the beauty of this jacket? I surmise that it's poised to be, a biker top instead of a jacket. This is Rick Owens' interpretation to a monk's hoodie robe, and making it into a leather piece, it creates that frozen in time effect. So the jacket is a body-fitting classic jacket from the ANTHEM 2011 collection, one of his most beautiful presentation. There's a well-intentioned spirit behind it. It harkens back to Rick Owens' obsession with anything skin tight. He wants the clothes to be in one with your body. Body meets clothes, but in a united sense. It has a seductiveness of a kimono and a recluse coyness. And since it's leather, the overall arc of this garment appears to be a mysterious villain boss. You can almost feel the pathos when you look at this jacket. There's something sinister and nefarious in this jacket, and those ideals are what brew the ingredients of a hyper niche experience for the weirdo like me. See, Rick was so ahead of his time, truly defines what a protective fashion armor. And now that we're in the 2020s, I think this is still a very great conversation piece. It's giving off that don't mess with me, don't even go near me kind of message. If you wear this, I'm pretty sure no one would mess with you. The features of the jacket, this is the collar. Normally a jacket has a collar that stops over here, but Rick thought of pushing the possibilities of what he can do to a jacket. And on the front, there is this pocket. It's more of a slit, like a filament or a fish gill. The jacket has a brutalist nature to it. He treats the clothes as an architecture. Look at this structure. This is my favorite. Wear this so you can look like a walking art. Runway presentations usually last for less than 2 hours, right? So to relive that runway look is a romance in this fast-paced, data-consuming era of ours, because I respect the vision of the runway. Again, I was copying straight from the runway looks. I'm so sorry. I just love that the sharp angles of the boots clashes beautifully with the brutalistic geometric pattern of the jacket. And I must admit that it's a very selective jacket because of its shock value. I haven't seen this silhouette in any designer. I think it's only Rick Owens who was brave enough to do this silhouette. It's one of my most goth jacket. I'll be keeping it forever. So what do you think? How would you style this jacket? Do you like it? Is it too much? Is it too costumey for you? Is it not wearable? Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. The clothes Rick presents are his personal interpretation of beauty. It is about to live one's fantasy, and by doing so, fantasy enters the reality realm. By making the fantasy a reality, you are killing the fantasy and you're putting more realities in your life. That's the essence of fashion. Thank you again for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this pickup video. I will be showing you more pickups in the coming days. I will see you on my next video. Bye!